Hello guys, GM from whatever time you may be, I remain your faithful guy. I am Casten and welcome to our second episode of CCU Podcast. Yes, I am your host. We're going to be talking about the blockchain and Web3 today, and I'm also going to be having a guest with us. I think you already know his name. It's Uncle Sam. But just don't worry, you're gonna be hearing a little bit of alphas from him. So before we go to that, as we actually do, it's just like the way we do it in our doctrine. I'm gonna quickly go through the latest news on the crypto space or the crypto market, and followed by the topic of the day. The first topic, without me actually checking my screen, is I think this actually came in earlier this week. It's something amazing. So even though over here in Nigeria we actually have a little bit of restrictions and some other things like that, I'm talking about PayPal. So the news is from PayPal. Recently, PayPal just launched their own stable coin. Like, do you see that? So much joy in me right now. I think it's gonna be a dollar. I think it's a stable coin ratio to the dollar rate. So, the stable coin is called the PYUSD. The PYUSD. This stable coin is backed by Paxos. So that is just the main thing about the coin. And it was said that the coin actually has, I think this was actually what made it a little bit the talk of the Twitter community and the Telegram community. Someone actually pointed out that the PYUSD has a contract whereby um the creators, I mean PayPal, can actually seize or take control or halt the funds of the user. So they can actually, if for instance they perceive something or a fraudulent activities, they can pause or freeze the user's assets. I mean the PYUSD. So that's for that under the PayPal stablecoin. So moving over to our next news. Um, so meanwhile, I'm actually using Cointelegraph, and you can use other news means for your news, for your own news. So here is another one. We have India proposes AI-powered conversational payment system. Hmm. This news is something. I just hope this actually goes viral, because brother, how would it sound? You actually having an AI powered conversation for payment. That is gonna be amazing. So another one, we have the Biden administration also launched his AI cybersecurity challenge to protect Americans. I think it was said that the Biden administration allocated about $20 million in rewards for the AI companies so that they can help in securing the country's critical infrastructures. Another one, we have the SEC to seek interlocutory appeal in the Ripple case. I think the SEC has been having issues recently with the Ripple community. Another one is the multi-chain exploit claims another phantom project. Hmm. Recently, the multi-chain was exploited by I think an hacker or something. You know, the last time we actually had our episode, it was said that the Core Finance also had an exploit of over like $61 million loss. That is still so unbelievable. I hope they can actually recover their losses. So that's for that on today's episode and today's news. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. So, you see, do I actually leaked my mouth? So, moving over to the topic of today. Who is happy? Are you happy? Me, I'm happy right now. I'm really, really happy. You don't actually know the joy in me right now. So, moving over to the topic of today. Meanwhile, we're actually going to be having a guest. And if you're asking me, what is the name of the guest? The name of the guest is Uncle Sam. Hmm. You want to know Uncle Sam and much about him? Well, just tune in to the last minute and you'll be able to hear more things about him. So, I already mentioned the topic earlier on, but I'll just say it again. The topic of the day of this our episode is blockchain and beyond, the evolution of Web3. So for those of you that actually don't know how Web3 has actually evolutioned, you'll be able to learn that today. So, hello, Uncle Sam. Welcome to our today's episode. It is so amazing to have you here.
Well, hello, Justin. Thank you so very much for having me. And big hello to our wonderful listeners or viewers wherever you are. You're listening to the voice of Uncle Sam, and I am a Web3 brand therapist. So you must be hearing that for the very first time. So you're wondering what I do. Basically, I help founders, as project owners in the Web3 space, as well as other builders. Whether you're building a personal brand or a corporate brand, whatever the case may be, I help you find clarity on your branding as well as build the thriving and massive brand you might have in mind. So I help you channel that roadmap, channel that vision you have into something workable so you could build it up. So basically, that is what I do in the space, and I've been in this space for about 3 years now, and it has afforded me the opportunity to connect with great minds and also facilitate great infrastructures on the space. So the, the space is very very much still growing, but the potentials are just incredible. So it's a pleasure coming on here to discuss with you all on an interesting topic for today.
Okay, thank you very, very much for that brief info. I really, really appreciate you, and I just actually hope our listeners will be able to check up on you and check what you do because I'm very sure they will really want to check up on you and check what you do. So, moving over to our topic for today, our topic is blockchain and beyond, the evolution of Web3. So, okay, let me actually give it to you, Uncle Sam. So you start with us. Like, what is your mindset or your thoughts on the topic that we're actually having for today?
It's to take it out on face value. Anybody that hears it for the very first time would be like, ah, this must be like a project topic or something. Anyone that is in the tertiary institution would have that in mind. But the basic thing about this topic, the basic gist to get from this is we want to talk about um, the evolution of Web3. That is, what are we looking out for in the future and not just what we have right now? Right now, anyone who hears about blockchain or anyone who hears about Web3 simply thinks about crypto. That's the very first thing that comes to mind. But what many people don't understand is that Web3 is far beyond just crypto. Blockchain is far beyond just crypto. And even blockchain was already in existence. This is the funny thing. Blockchain was already in existence before the first cryptocurrency, that is Bitcoin, came to be. So people do not understand this. It's just that the cryptocurrency has pioneered the whole movement and all of that. So we tend to forget what blockchain essentially is, what the plan was, and how it would be in the future. Because we are already seeing regulations start coming in. We are already seeing adoption and all of that. So this topic seeks to, from face value, it seeks to explore the future of the blockchain, the future of Web3 as a whole, beyond what we have right now. So basically, that's just it.
Thank you very much for that your thoughts on the topic. So, I actually have okay. Let me actually give my own view on this. So, looking at Web3 as a whole is just like a space that can contain both the young, the adults, and the young adults and the youth. Every category of person, Web3 is actually bold enough and really capable to actually uh, by every one of us. So, I will just have questions about the topic. So, Uncle Sam, if we're actually looking into the gaming industry, or looking into like real estate and some other things, because when you're looking at Web3 broads mainly on the NFTs aspect. So NFTs aspect, the gaming aspect, the tokenization aspect, and some other aspects like that. So what when you're actually looking at the gaming aspect and the NFTs aspects, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, Web3 cuts across a whole plethora of fields that it's currently touching on. There is already DeFi there, which is like the selling points. It's the selling point of the blockchain. It's the selling point of Web3, if we are to consider that, because it's the main message that we've been preaching, ownership and all. So DeFi gives you that ability to own your assets and all. So then looking at NFT and GameFi, it's NFT had a trend. There was I think it was 2021 thereabout, when we saw NFTs blow up and all of that, where people could now see the ability to have ownership of their digital assets, in terms of, is it an artwork that you have, and then it was just basically artwork and stuff. But now we've seen the evolution come into music. You could own music NFTs. You could even own houses and stuff like that. So that is already coming in. Now the mistake many people make when they hear about NFTs is the feel that NFTs are just JPEGs, NFTs are just pictures, pictures of apes or pictures of. What they tend to forget is that NFT is not just that. NFT is the technology that tells you that this particular thing is completely unique from every other thing. It's just like when we buy a house. When you buy a house, you get a certain certificate, like deed of ownership and stuff like that, that proves to you that you are the owner of this particular building. So the same thing, NFT is that technology that's attached to those pictures or whatever. That technology that is behind it, that's what makes it unique. That's what makes it non-fungible. So people tend to forget this. Then looking at the GameFi space, and GameFi and NFTs are areas that would share a lot in future, because when we talk about owning gaming assets, example, using Call of Duty as an example, though we do not have it yet, but I'm looking at when we are going to have most of these established gaming companies rather come onto the GameFi space. So let's assume that let's say next year or next couple of years, that's esports or whatever comes into the GameFi space, and then we have a game like Call of Duty, where you own your gun, or you buy a certain skin and stuff like that, and you have the ability to sell that particular gun as an NFT to someone else wherever the person is. And the beautiful thing about this is that it's not just going to be a game asset that is just in that game. There will be a form of interoperability. And that means that the assets that you own in a particular GameFi platform can be transferred to another platform. That is, you can transfer that ownership. So it's still within your control, but you can move it between different platforms and all. So we are seeing a future when it comes to these two. I'm seeing a future where we are going to have a lot of people get real worth for their time spent on these activities, because we have real game developers, we have real people that are playing these games for, you know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, all right. Sorry about that. I got some network interference here. Okay, so as I
No
was
problem.
saying, I'm seeing the future on this, where already we are seeing this happen with some form of monetization, but based on skill, happen with sports like, or games like FIFA and all, where we have contests and stuff. So I'm looking at a time when you could play a tournament on FIFA. You're playing for the European Champions League, or you're playing World Cup or any tournament that we have there on the platform. And then when you win, that cup that you're going to get will be a form of NFT. And it won't just be NFT. There will be the aspect of cryptocurrencies coming in. Those coins. Example, people that play games like Subway Surf and stuff like that. We are seeing games like that come on, where those coins that you're getting could be turned into real money. So right now, GameFi as a whole is very, very, very young. Very, very, very young. That's why the games that you see right now are very poorly developed games. But in the future, what I'm seeing when we go beyond all this phase and all is something really unique, something really professional that we are going to look up to and appreciate, because this is what's coming in. It's to me, it's inevitable that we are going to see these things happen. It's just a matter of time right now, but I'm seeing it happen for real.
Thank you very much for what you just said. I really love the points that you were actually able to raise, especially on the gamify aspect and on the NFTs aspect, looking into both ownership and transfer of ownership and some other things. So, when you actually started talking about this, you mentioned something about DeFi. I mean DeFi. So, a lot of us over here in Nigeria have like a fear when it comes to Web3 and DeFi. They actually think that this is something that it's not something I am like made for, or it's something that would take away my money. It's something that like when I put my money in, it to suck all my money away from me, or it's something that I would need money before I can actually start. So, what would you actually say to this set of people that are thinking that way?
Well, I just feel that many people have certain mindset because of the information available to them. They just have that mindset about certain things just because of that. You know, the thing about DeFi is this, and what I always tell people, a lot of people, especially people who haven't adopted crypto yet. I remember when I was singing this as of last year to friends, people on my WhatsApp and all of that. You don't need to learn how to trade cryptocurrency. Crypto is not even about trading alone. Just learn how the platform works, understand how the technology works, understand basically how to just save money, how to send money to a wallet, how to withdraw money from your wallet, and just understand that principle. You don't need any other thing. DeFi is freedom from the traditional system of finances. That is why a lot of countries seem to be kind of against it, because it's giving you total control of your assets. Imagine what happened to the citizenry in Nigeria during the just concluded election in February, where people were restricted from having access to their money. Like, you have money in your bank and you want to withdraw your money, but the bank tells you that you cannot get it. So now you do not. The thing is this: there's something someone told me. He said, if there is anything you do not have complete control over, then it isn't yours. If there's anything that you know that if I want to get this thing at this particular moment, if I want to wake up right now and get this thing, I cannot get it, then it isn't yours. Thus, the money that you're saving in your bank is not yours. It completely belongs to the government, because any moment they could wake up and decide, you cannot get this certain percentage of your money because of XYZ. And that is what we experienced in February. Now, DeFi gives you freedom from this. In what way? DeFi gives you the ability to own a wallet that is just the same as your bank. Basically, what your bank does for you is to store your assets. So DeFi gives you the ability to do this through your crypto wallet. So you could store whatever asset you have there, and you could make transfers to anybody anywhere in the world in seconds, in minutes. You could make these things happen. But now, if you want to use Western Union to do all of that, most times it takes a week. And besides taking a week, you get absurd deductions. You get absurd charges for that. But
Yeah.
with DeFi, you could make transactions easily, easily.
Mm.
So it gives you this freedom. It gives you that ability to be able to manage your money, to be able to control your money, to be able to have access to it whenever and wherever you want. And so, if tomorrow you wake up and you're like, I don't want to put all my money in this, I just want to liquidate everything, I want to get everything out, I want to become liquid and all, you can easily have access to it. Nobody is going to stop you from doing that. But this is the mistake many people make. And still, another error we find is that people tend to misunderstand the fact that we still have some level of traditional finance in DeFi. Okay, let me not even call it DeFi because it's almost like CeFi. It's almost like centralized finance. True DeFi is when you're able to control all your money. That is, you own your own wallet and everything. But then where we have CeFi, which is centralized finance, is where you have another entity control your money. And that's what most people do. And I understand, it's not easy to move from complete dependency on a third party to become completely dependent on yourself with your money, because there are a lot of risk attached to it. The security is on your head and all of that. It's on your head. With great power, as they say, comes great responsibility. So what many people do is that after getting their money from their, let's say you transfer their money from their banks and all of that, they send it to a centralized platform. Let's say a centralized exchange like Binance and all. That money is still not yours. It's still
Yes,
not your money
it's
because it
still
is not
under
your
the
keys. Exactly. It's still controlled by someone else. There was a time I attended a Binance function, and there was this thing that if there is a suspicion that maybe the coins that you're sending, the assets you're sending, maybe there's this tracking they were trying to find out some irregularities and stuff, they could decide to withhold your money. They deny you access of their money. And that's exactly the same thing we have in traditional finance. So the best thing for anyone is to learn how to use true decentralized finances. That is using decentralized platforms, decentralized applications. We have many, many of them that anyone could use. So that is where true freedom comes in. That's the evolution. That's the future that we are looking into. When we talk about the looking beyond what we have right now, that's the future where I could have my money and control my money, and you could have your money and control your money. So if I tell you I want 1 billion by tomorrow, you could easily send me 1 billion. You don't need to wait for 7 days or have to pass some layers of verification before you could send your own money to someone else. So that's the future we are looking at.
Thank you very much for what you just mentioned. So, you mentioned something about where we have the CFI, and but you know something over here in Nigeria as a whole, we actually have what we call regulations that are binding cryptocurrency in Nigeria. So, this also might actually add to the fears of some users that they will be like, since there's regulation on this, what about if I actually create my wallet today and the Nigeria government decides to pin pin my funds just because I'm actually doing it illegally or something like that. So, what is your thoughts on it? Because I actually attended a space yesterday where someone was mentioning something about this, that a police stopped him on the way and was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you into? He said he's into cryptocurrency. It was not like, do you know that cryptocurrency is illegal in Nigeria? So why are you running it? So this actually caused a lot of stress between him and the police. So what is your thoughts on this before we wrap up?
Well, the thing is, the Nigeria as a country is, it's most times we are not, we don't have one direction that we are going. Today crypto is illegal, tomorrow crypto is no more illegal, next tomorrow crypto is illegal and stuff like that. That is the problem we have with the country. As of a couple of months ago, it wasn't illegal for small retailers and all of that. I think it's still the case right now, except a very, very fresh law have come up to attack, or to state that, okay, as as retail traders and all of that, that it is illegal, because it was illegal for it was illegal for institutions like banks and all of that. It was illegal for them to use cryptocurrency or to have anything to do with cryptocurrency. That is why if you want to make transactions, you'll be advised that you should not have any remark, or the description of your transaction should not have anything to do with cryptocurrency. That is, you're sending money and you're saying, oh, help me buy Ethereum or help me buy Bitcoin on your transaction description. If you have that, then the bank will have to, withhold the money or freeze your account and stuff like that. Because the bank should not have anything to do with cryptocurrency. That's why it is that way. So for retail traders or for retailers like ourselves, it is not illegal for us to involve in that. It isn't illegal. So what you could do, the only thing is that there's one thing there's one thing about laws in this country. What is written on paper is not what is always practiced. So the police are always there to utilize any opportunity they could use to embezzle or extort. Rather, let me use that word, to extort from the citizenry. So what you would do to be on the safe side, because you need to think about yourself. That's very important. Right now, look at how much dollar is. No, dollar is 900. As of this afternoon that I did some transaction, dollar was 940. $1 was 940 naira. That's 940 naira to $1. So for you to still keep your money or save your money in naira is a very big mistake in this age. For you to do that, it's a very, very, very big mistake. So what you should do, look for a way. If you do not have the knowledge, find someone that has the information. Learn from the person. How can I transfer my funds to crypto? There's USDT, there's stable coins where the price don't fluctuate as other cryptocurrencies that we have. So that's why they're even called stable coins. So there is that
Absolutely.
asset where you could put your money there and just save it. You don't need to, have to resort to learning too very deep tech and all of that. Just learn how to transfer and receive money, and you're done. You could learn the rest later. But right now, for your own sake, or for your own safety and for your own sake, just learn those basic stuff. So cryptocurrency is not completely illegal for retail traders like ourselves, but for institutions like banks and all of that, it's illegal. That's just it. But then just use discretion. These guys are looking for a way to extort. So if they ask you, are you into crypto? The answer is no. You're not into crypto. Mention any other thing that you're into, just to be safe. You get discretion is very important. And then your phone should be rid of some of those platforms that would tell them that you are into crypto. You might even have depending on the smartphone you're using, you could hide those apps like your Binance or Trust Wallet, MetaMask. You hide those platforms so that they do not see them, and that's it.
Hey, thank you very, very much on that. Thank you very much on that. So, while we are wrapping up, so actually have one or two things that we to chip in. So, if we actually look back into the topic, which says exploring Web3, uh, so, and it actually also says the evolution. So, there are a lot of points that are actually under this. We have the DeFi we actually mentioned earlier. We have decentralized application. That's how we have the dApps. We have digital identity. We have supply chain and logistics. We have the game. We already mentioned that. We have the healthcare and research. I actually entered a space recently where they were actually talking about the healthcare, how how do I put it? How a Web3 enthusiast is supposed to take care of his health and some other things like that. And we also have energy and sustainability. And we come down to the last one, which is real estate and land ownership. So that is also distributed under, that's why we have the tokenization of your assets, I mean, real life properties and some other things like that. So we have come to a wrap of today. So, Uncle Sam, do you actually have any closing remarks that you actually like to give the audience before we close?
Okay, yeah, I would like to add that whatever you do, please um, don't be don't be too adamant to the system you are used to. Be very flexible. Be willing to accept change. When you see that something is changing, change. There's this thing Charles Darwin said. It said it is not. the creature that survives, or the species that survive, is not that which is the strongest, it's not that which is the smartest, it's not that which is the quickest, but it is that which is easiest to adapt to change. That's the kind of creature that always survives any changing environment. So please, if you see something new that's going on, try to learn about it, try to understand it. Why are people talking about this thing? Why is this thing here? You know, try to understand it, because some things are just here to stay. It's just like people that are wailing about AI doing this, AI doing that. It is here to stay. That is how people cried about technology when it came into agriculture. But now we are seeing people using it in agriculture. So there is always going to be an advantage and a disadvantage in everything. It's just like the healthcare that you made mention of. There is a project I heard of that is utilizing the blockchain technology in a way that if you have health records, like, if you've ever been in a government hospital, you'll notice this problem where you need to buy file, and when you buy the file, sometimes if your file gets missing, or all those kind of problems with recording, all those problems with recording and stuff. So this project has this idea where they are building the health record on the blockchain, so that your health records can easily be on the blockchain as long as it could be, because blockchain is just a ledger that continues to, it continues building and till infinity. So you can have your health records for years. You can have the health record of your child for years, so that any doctor that wants to access it and say, okay, what has this person been about, would easily have that record. So this shows you the future that we have with this technology. So it is best you come on it now that it's still in its baby phase, because it's still very, very early. It's about, I don't think it's up to 14 years. It should be around 13 years or thereabouts right now as crypto. So it is best to jump on it right now, try to understand and try to see how you could utilize the whole idea, the whole technology to your own good. That's basically it.
Okay, thank you very much, Uncle Sam. Thank you very, 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 very much. It was really amazing talking with you on here. And I'm very sure our audience, there's no way they will actually learn something one way or the other from the talk that we actually had today. So I'm sorry that the timing is not way longer than this. I'm trying to like limit the time, but I hope next time, because I would really love to bring you on some other time so we can actually have more talks on Web3 as a whole and DeFi. So thank you very much, sir, for coming. It was really an amazing session with you. We hope to see you next time.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely. The pleasure was mine.
Yes, thank you very much. Very much every viewer that was actually watching this, that was able to watch this. I really, really thank you very much. I hope you were able to learn one of those things from what Uncle Sam was saying. I'm sorry, the audio was pre-recorded because we actually had the call before the video was uploaded. So I hope to advance as time goes on. This is the fact that we just started. So moving over to the last part of the podcast, which is the airdrop news and the airdrop news. So recently, a crypto enthusiast or the last news. Let's first start from the last news. The last news I actually advertised. I talked about the Trade Sniper game and their airdrops and things that they actually did. Well, unfortunately, the Trade Sniper actually applied a mechanism to their airdrop. People were actually not able to swap this airdrop, so they actually locked it and applied some feature whereby the airdrop is being unlocked bit by bit. So the latest gist on the airdrop is we have the Say network, which actually launched a launch pool on the Binance network, and we also have the Maverick protocol and some other protocols that actually launched their launch pool on the Binance network. I mean, on the Binance launch pool, so users can actually easily just stick in their BNB and farm or mine the either the say token or the whatever token that is actually on the Binance launch pool. So that's the latest news on the airdrop aspects for now. I hope to actually get more latest news on airdrops and latest news on cryptocurrency for you all. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. Remember to share this and remember to follow up with Uncle Sam. You can follow him up on the social media. I'll be dropping the link below in the video. So you can follow him up on the socials and follow CCU podcast for more updates. Thank you very much for tuning in.